Hey everybody, it's been a long while and I really apologize for that, but I've actually had a lot of stuff in my personal life going on, but now I'm back and I want to talk to you about Ghost in the Shell, the new 2017 remake of the 1995 classic. So Ghost in the Shell is a 2017 remake of the 1995 anime with the same exact name, starring Scarlett Johansson and directed by Rupert Sanders. Now this story deviates a little bit from the anime, but for the most part it's pretty accurate to the original source material, which is something I enjoyed about this film. But before I go into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about the story, some of the pros of this movie, and some of the cons that I feel in this movie really warrant. So with that out of the way, the story kind of unfolds as this cybernetic human named Major. And so what I'm saying by cybernetic human, every part of this person's body except for the brain is cybernetic and enhanced. It's just technological. It's kind of like an android or some kind of really cyborg of some sort that has nothing but a human brain. So they figure this out, and that's what Major is, Scarlett Johansson's character. So she works for Honka Robotics, really kind of just trying to stop criminal activities that are happening. She works with a couple partners and then their police chief, and they try to solve all these crimes, these technological cybernetic crimes that happen. What happens is there's this cyber terrorism that occurs by a character called Kuze. And his name actually is different in the anime. He's actually known as the Puppet Master in the anime, but that's where a little bit of difference there. He's hacking into people who are cybernetically enhanced. Pretty much everyone in this futuristic kind of story is enhanced in some way, technologically wise. Major's one of the only ones who's really equipped to stop this guy from cyber terrorism and controlling everyone. And that's what makes this film really pretty unique. This movie is really about Scarlett Johansson as the Major, kind of trying to figure herself out as an identity. Was there some kind of ghost remaining in this shell of a body? And that's kind of the philosophical aspects of the original film that I really enjoyed. And about this one, it felt a little different here. Pros of this movie are the visuals. The visuals are what makes this film really unique and really enjoyable, honestly. It's definitely a trippy, kind of Matrix-y kind of ride that I really enjoyed about the visuals in this film. Some of it was like Zack Snyder-esque 300 scenes, there's some slowdowns. But it was beautifully, it was cinematically just a gorgeous movie. Another thing about this movie I really enjoyed was the action a little bit. And some of the sequences were really cool. Obviously, I kind of already harkened back to 300. There were some of those sequences that maybe didn't feel unique, but it was cool to see in this futuristic kind of setting. And speaking of the setting, this reminds me a lot like Blade Runner. I'm thinking like Fifth Element. And if you've actually read comics, Tokyo Ghost is actually a perfect example of a new medium that is looking into this futuristic kind of slum of a city where technology is rampant and it's really it's consumed everyone. Alright, so most of the characters really didn't feel too developed. It felt a lot of underdevelopment in each of their storylines. Only one I can tell you, but I don't want to give that away because it actually enhances the story a little bit. But besides that, character development, there wasn't too much. It was really just an action film to be an action film, and that's more or less what it is. We're trying to strike a balance between a thought-provoking film and an action film, and it really kind of fell on the plot elements and the character development a little bit. Some of the CGI was a little choppy. I could tell in some moments where it was like, oh, that was totally fake. So not all the CGI in here is pretty. Some of it is actually a little bit choppy. And honestly, this gets me down to, they kind of dumbed down the original story in a way, and that's really the crux of how I feel about this film. Is I really enjoyed the 1995 anime version of this movie. What the director does here is he simultaneously dumbs down the original story and upplays a little bit of the action, but what I really enjoyed about this film was they actually fleshed out some of the character development in one of the characters and the past of this character. And to me, this really grounded the story in a more humane way, and I thought that was really interesting and thought-provoking. Another aspect of this film I wanted to really talk about was the original story really focused on kind of a postmodernistic kind of stance on the world. Is reality constructed, or is it actually through our five senses? That's the stuff I really enjoyed about the original film, and this one felt like it was a little weak on that category. Alright, now that I've talked about the cons, I'm actually going to talk to you a little bit about the controversy that some people are really describing about this film being a whitewashing film. Alright, just like with Great Wall when I discussed it, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but honestly, the director of the original 1995 film did not care at all that Scarlett Johansson was playing this robot. So I don't understand why people can't get over it, honestly, because the Japanese people were poll as well, and they're like, it's fine. They don't care. So for the people who see this as a bad thing, that's on you. If you see it as a good thing, that's also on you. I am more in the category of, it's just a movie and watch it the way you want to see it. So that's just my stance on the film. If you want to go into this movie thinking that this is a whitewashed film with Scarlett Johansson as an Asian actress, if you want to do that, that's cool. If not, watch the film. Alright, so now with that all being said, I'm going to give my final score of the film. I give this movie a 3 out of 5. It is at least worth a watch. Honestly, it's not too memorable. For me, I really want you all to watch the original anime in 1995. That movie, because the original really delved into the philosophical kind of aspects of being a human, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the original film. And I know that I'm kind of rambling on about the original film, but this movie is definitely a cool action remake of the original film. So that all being said, definitely go check out Ghost in the Shell at least once. It's definitely a fun time if you kind of shut your brain off a little bit. So like, comment, share down below, and let me know what you're thinking about this film, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.